Hey everyone, Joe here from Build, Grow, Scale. I'm a revenue optimization expert that helps e-com stores build, grow, and scale their business. Today, there's a topic I want to talk to you about. It's really important, and a lot of people actually overlook this issue, and that is page load speed of your e-com store. So think about this. Whenever you send someone traffic from your ad to your website, if your website loads at a very low speed, it loads just really slow, people are going to lose their patience and bounce very, very quickly. If they're, managed to stay for a little bit, but got to different pages on your site, and it's just loading really, really slow. People nowadays don't have the attention span to wait around for you. So having a page load speed loading fast is really, really important when it comes to conversion rates, okay? And study shows that just over 2 seconds of page load delay can cause up to 103% of bounce rate increase. That means you get a lot of people just bouncing from your site. They don't want to look anymore, right? And we're going to talk about 3 things that is causing most of the page load issue, all right? Number 1, that is your image size. So if your e-com store is running on a theme that doesn't have image resizing capabilities, essentially what image resizing ability means, you give Shopify all your files in, let's say PNG or JPG. Shopify actually does all the image resizing for you. So if you have an image of 2 megabytes, 3 megabytes, up to 20 megabytes, Shopify has this unique format for the image. It turns into WebP, and it actually loads really, really fast at a high resolution. If your theme doesn't have that function in terms of resizing, this is the issue that you might be facing, all right? And that's your image being too large. We typically recommend at BGS have your file size to be under 100 kilobytes, and anything over, it gets clogged up, and we actually see 75% of the page load issue comes from imaging loading way too slow. So why don't we talk about how to actually test out your page speed, right? Let me share it with you on my screen, and I'll take you to what a page load website will look like. So one example that we use, a page load testing tool that we use pretty often at BGS, we recommend, is called gtmetrics.com. And let's just use an example of one of the Amplified Partner stores that we have on the site. And once you load the site, it takes a little moment to fetch the site and get into queue and actually load and test. And what this does, it loads your site completely, whatever you put in there, and it basically analyzes all the requests that this website is getting, and all the images and all the files on the priority and orders of the code, and tells you what's wrong with it and what's good about it, right? So our Amplified site, this one has a grade A. We actually just finished a round of test of optimization today, and it was a big, big win for us. So it gives you recommendations on issues that you have and what you should look into in terms of optimization. If you don't have a technical background, we recommend you to hire a developer that work with you to optimize your store for image sizing, for better efficiency of codes. But essentially, this is one website that we use, called gtmetrics.com. Another one is Google Page Speed Insights, and you can just put in your URL here, analyze, and it gives you all the information here. And what's good about having a efficient and fast loading site is that Google, when it comes to Google Shopping and SEO, Google actually favors the site that loads faster and quicker, because they know when users get there, they don't bounce that easily because of the fast responding website that they have. All right, so these are the 2 tools that we recommend: Page Speed Insights and GT Metrics. So let's come back to the issue here. We have images that could be causing issue. If you don't have a resizing capability theme that's running on your e-com store, definitely try to get one. And BGS Super Theme is actually something that we do offer at Ecom Insider and Ecom Business Blueprint students. When they join the program, they get our BGS super theme that's super high converting, and also offering this image resizing capability. Essentially, whatever you put in there, as long as it's not over 20 megabytes, the theme will actually automatically resize it for you. Essentially, if someone is at a large computer screen and they have very, very fast internet, it will actually load that higher quality image because the hardware and the foundation is there. When someone's on a slow internet and on a smartphone, it will actually request image that's smaller in size and less in resolution to counterbalance the internet speed. So having a resizing capable image resizing capable theme is really important. If you don't have it, definitely get one. All right, number two reason why websites load very, very slow. That's because of your apps. If you have installed a ton of apps on your store and maybe you haven't uninstalled them yet, if you have 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 apps on your store, what that does is whenever you have an app plug-in added to your site, it adds JavaScript, CSS onto your theme and onto your theme file and code. So whenever your website loads, even though you're not using that app anymore, the code is still there and is still causing space and load time for your site. And so if you ever have apps you don't use anymore, uninstall them and hire a developer to actually clean out the code that some apps would leave behind. What happens is a lot of these apps, even if you delete them, it still leave a lot of junk code after, and that's just causing you to have code that you don't need living in your theme file and clogging up space and causing you to have a loading site. Last one is content heavy pages. So if you have a long type of, let's say, homepage, or you have a long product page, your product needs a lot of explanations and a lot of content in there. Instead of having your entire page load up once whenever someone's come to the site and then they can see after, what we do use is a technique called lazy loading. So essentially what happens is the website will only load content that the user's screen is looking at. So think above the fold. Whenever someone gets there, content is loaded. And as they scroll down, further down the page, the content will start loading. So that's a good experience from the user experience standpoint, because they don't need to see content below the screen because they're not really there yet. Once they scroll down, then the content is there, and it's a very efficient way to load your code in terms of prioritization. So like I said earlier, guys, make sure you check your page load speed on your site, either on GTmetrix or Google Page Insights, PageSpeed Insights, and take a look at your score. If you're not really there, and if you have a fully loaded time of over 3 seconds, 5 seconds, some even 20 seconds, chances are if you just double your reduce your page load speed by 50%, 30%, you're going to see your conversion rate increase by a ton. All right, we've seen sites that loaded at 24 seconds fully loaded down to 3 seconds, and their conversion rate just doubled simply because of page load speed. Think about it. If you can get less people bouncing from your site, you're obviously going to get more sales, more visitors. And to recap, get your site tested on page speed. Make sure you have your images optimized. If you're not on an image resizing theme, get your apps uninstalled if you're not using them. Clean out the code for sure. And lastly, try to do lazy load for your content pages if you have a developer working with you. If you don't really know how to do all that and you just want us to help you, go to workwithbgs.com. That's workwithbgs.com. Schedule a free strategy session call with us and talk to one of our experts. We can help you with whatever you're facing with your e-com store, what challenges you have, and we're going to plan out something for you to optimize and make more sales. Thank you for today. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.